Because basically what happened was...
What? Look at them all! This is amazing! Is this real? It might as well be.
Whenever the sun would come up, it would start cooking the corpse of the rat, and then it would start smelling again, and then the smell would wake me up, and then I would know, oh shit, it's time to stream.
Oh my fucking god, this is amazing.
There are plenty of things that I have ignored them for long enough they did go away. Ignoring problems works very regularly.
Isn't this the music for a boss in Dark Souls 2? Look at the...
I'll give you an example. My teeth were a problem. I ignored them. They went away.
This is absolute fucking cinema. You look like I'm Vendrick, yeah? Dragging the sword around.
Why is there blood? Well, I used to have problems with my teeth, right? And so what I have to do is, like, my teeth would bleed at night, so it would just, like, accumulate and dry in my mouth. So, like, whenever I'd wake up, I'd take my finger and I'd just dig it out of my gums, and I'd just smear it on the wall.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, that's actually really good. I remember this clip exactly. This is perfect. This is
Are you kidding me?
I just think the entire video game industry has gone woke and gay. Like, what happened
Look
to
at my why is my forehead getting bigger?
masculine dude with a hot chick on his arm? I love the idea of Xbox Game Pass, but I swear every time I open it up and look for new games, there's just so many games that look gay now.
These different social issues, I think, for a lot of gamers, and I find it to be very disappointing to see it whenever I'm watching like a new trailer on my stream.
Oh god.
And there's, oh my god, there's a fucking black person. Oh my god, there's a woman. And then I see my chat stream, and everybody is spamming woke. They're like, oh, woke game, woke game. Oh no, another
Look at this! This is insane! How is this so good?
protagonist.
Oh, no, no. Bro! Are you kidding me? Was this phase 2? Oh no.
What's the probability that the government wants to frame the Tate brothers? Probably 50%. The government frames people all the time. Like, if we've seen anything out of, like, any of the leaks from, you know, the way that they tried to, you know, fuck with Martin Luther King.
Yeah, it became
like
Satan.
That. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's Romania. Okay.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river.
Oh,
when people
boy.
who have genocide that's baked
So this is me becoming...
into their laws are getting genocide.
Oh, these are all the worst takes.
They're terrible people. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple.
This is insane.
No, I don't feel bad for them.
Look at me. Look at me.
Bro, look at the rat behind too.
I don't care.
This might be one of the best ones I've ever seen. This is unbelievably fucking good. You can tell it's fake because Asmongold's apartment is never that clean. I'm dying because he doesn't even clean the chair by removing the previous incarnation of himself. The new version just sits right on top of the old one. It's crazy how much you toned him down and made it family friendly. Barely an exaggeration. Holy fuck, this was amazing. Wow, this is incredibly good. This is nuts.
The video is incredible, and we thank Eamon for making it. Link to his channel in the description. But I really couldn't help but notice there were a lot of people confused in the reaction that he posted.
Boy's putting on a show to prove he ain't shook over this.
He is trying so hard to not be offended. LOL.
Well, I will give Asmongold credit for acting his ass off in an attempt to not show how much that hurt.
Well, now, this is very awkward. Of course, as you guys know, this channel's goal is to enrich Asmon's brand and defend him no matter what. So that is what I'm gonna do. Defend him. Go, Asmon. This is your chance. Tell him.
Like, y'all have to understand that I have a mental disorder.
There you go. for making it.
Let's take a closer look at the i486DX CPU from Intel. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage from opening this part, but it looks something like this. This particular CPU ran at a core frequency of 33 MHz and contains approximately 1.2 million transistors. It also contains a hidden secret, right here. We can see what it is if I switch over to the other microscope. What appears to initially be just a triangle turns out to be a pyramid with individual blocks under higher magnification. This silicon pyramid measures approximately 135 by 70 micrometers. According to sources I found, the i486DX 33 MHz version was initially released on May 7th of 1990, which means this chip would have been a refresh in 1992. The original version was made using the 0.8 micron process node. Let's
OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank just announced a massive deal with President Trump called Project Stargate. Despite the name, unfortunately, this has nothing to do with intergalactic wormhole infrastructure. Their plan is to invest a staggering $500 billion in the United States to build the largest data centers the world has ever seen, for the sole purpose of churning out AI slop. To put this number in perspective, the US annual defense budget is $850 billion, but that pays for aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and space lasers. But there was someone who didn't get picked for the Stargate team, and he's feeling really bummed out right now. His name is Elon, and everyone seems to forget that he has an AI company too. He claims that SoftBank doesn't actually have the money secured, and says the whole Stargate thing is fake. Sam Altman then came in with a famous high road clapback, where he compliments Elon but says he's wrong, and then invites him to come visit the project that's already underway. Then Sadia jumps in to back up Altman, saying he's good for his 80 billion.
I'm good for my 80 billion.
In today's video, we'll find out what the Stargate project really is, and why you should be excited, but also terrified. It is January 23rd, 2025, and you're watching The Code Report. Project Stargate is an AI infrastructure project, where the goal is to invest $500 billion in the United States to build data centers. Now, this project is not actually funded by taxpayers, but instead will come from investors secured by the Japanese bank, SoftBank. Masayoshi Son is the money guy, Sam Altman is the gadgets guy, and Larry Ellison is the muscle. These data center facilities will require tons of energy, and Trump is the gas man who will get that done by using executive orders to divert power to get these things built, which they claim will create 100,000 new jobs, which will then be eliminated by AI when they finish building this thing. On the bright side, this project could make AI cheaper and more accessible, and they're really hyping up its medical benefits, where Larry Ellison said it will enable personalized medicine for everyone, and that it should be able to develop customized mRNA vaccines to cure cancer. Ellison is most well known as a champion sailor, but he also became one of the richest men in the world by creating the first commercial SQL database. He also owns my favorite programming language, Java, and is fighting a legal battle with Dino to maintain control of the JavaScript trademark. But he also has a dystopian vision for society where everything is monitored by AI to keep citizens on their best behavior.
Citizens will be on their best behavior, because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And we're using AI to monitor the video.
This vision will become a reality in the very near future. Stargate currently has 10 data centers under construction in Abilene, Texas, and is expanding to more states soon. And what's interesting is that the government used to have a different Stargate project back in the 70s, which was a top secret CIA project to explore the possibility of psychic warfare. These names are no accident. Oracle sees the future, as Stargate is a portal to other dimensions, and OpenAI is the one who gets to open the portal. The timing is perfect because after years of saying OpenAI would definitely never go for profit, OpenAI just laid out plans to go for profit and give Sam Altman equity to make him billions of dollars richer. And that's surprising because he told Congress in 2023 he was doing it because he loves it.
Make a lot of money, do you?
I'm doing this because I love it.
Elon is seething right now because he's about to release Grok 3, which is a reasoning model like DeepSeek or O1, and based on this one biased example, could be superior to those models. Now, I might get in trouble with my Illuminati handler for telling you this, but all this drama and beefing is scripted and fake. Elon and Altman are bros who started OpenAI together. Ellison helped Elon buy Twitter. They're all connected to the PayPal mafia and Peter Thiel, whose protege JD Vance just became the vice president. He'll take over as president in 2027, but is actually controlled by reptilians who have been alive since the Roman times. All roads lead to Rome, and that's why Elon did this autistic Roman salute recently, to mark the beginning of the tech bro dynasty that will reign supreme for the next 500 years. This has been The Code Report. I'm not suicidal. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
But that's not representation that writes to the turn will be measurements, instruments, or algorithmic. Hello and welcome. This is my first screen capture video that I'm going to do to assist you in Max 7. I'm sure you've been following my instructional articles and the patches I've uploaded, but I thought that for some of you it will be of great benefit to actually see me work through some problems, and I hope to do this periodically. It takes quite a bit more effort and time, but hopefully the payoff will be there. So please let me know in the comments if you appreciate this kind of a tutorial, and I'll try and do more of them in the future. So I thought to start with, I'll start at a fairly basic level, because most of my material is oriented towards beginners and intermediate level Max users, I have to say. And all of this is informed by my background in computer programming and project management. So I tend towards a very structured approach, which is not always how people approach a visual language like Max. So I like comments because, here we go, hard to speak and type at the same time. I need to get multitasking sorted. So a structured approach includes commenting your patches so that you can understand them. It doesn't mean commenting every little thing, but just where you need to. It involves doing things like labeling all of your patches and giving them appropriate names. So let's just start with that, will we? I'm going to create a very simple patch that just does stereo audio output, but this will help me illustrate and explain some of the key concepts. So first of all, let me just fancy this up a bit, make it bold, make that bigger, give it some sort of color. I like green. Green is nice and safe. So this patch is going to be called audio output, so I'm going to put the name of it right at the top, and I'm going to save it immediately using that name. I'm going to save it to the desktop for convenience. Audio output. But that's not really a great idea. What you should do is create a folder or a directory for every new project. Save all your files in that one place. It will really help you to keep organized, but I'm going to do things slightly differently just because I'm giving a tutorial. So the idea here is to in the next 15 minutes or how long it's going to take me, show you how to create an abstraction for stereo audio output. Not something that maybe needs this sort of approach, but it can't hurt. And so the idea is that if I have a cycle tilde object at a certain frequency, and I want to send it to my output, I should be able to do that quite easily. Send it to both channels of the output, lock the patcher, pull down my volume, turn it on. There we go, nice simple sine wave, nothing too exciting. But there's other stuff I probably want to add to this to use time and time again. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put all of it inside a subpatcher. So for convenience, I will create, I'm going to add this stuff, move this out of here, create a new patcher. Blow my head off temporarily because it was connected to the DAC. This illustrates sort of a principle that I'm going to come back to in a moment. I'll just save this as main. So this is my main patcher, and it's going to actually call a subpatcher to do all the dirty work for it. And so I've just got both of them together here. Right, so audio output. What do we want to see with audio output? Well, first of all, we have our choice of easy DAC, whoops, or DAC tilde, easy DAC tilde or DAC tilde. And the nice thing about easy DAC is you can turn it on and off by clicking on it, and you have a visual representation of that, if that's important to you. However, every UI object you use, every user interface object, which is to say one that has a visual representation that writes to the screen, takes more CPU, it takes more resources, and will eventually slow down Max or create issues. Now, it certainly won't in a patcher this simple, but in the long run, it will. So here's a key takeaway. Only use UI objects when you need them. Don't use them for simple functions like turning the DAC on and off. As a rule, I would never do that because DAC tilde is actually a lot more flexible. You can specify, if you use the right numbers, you can specify how many outputs you want. For example, now we have 4 output channels. We can do something like double click on it to get our audio status window, which I know you can get through the menu, but this is convenient. It's a very convenient way to get to it. So I can see I'm running a Fireface or any Fireface device at the moment at 44.1 kilohertz is enough, 44.1 kilohertz. So yeah, I'm not going to use an easy DAC. I'm just going to use this. And to get, before I ever hit stereo output, I always want to control the volume because I want to protect my equipment. I want to protect my ears from sudden volume spikes. And there's any number of ways of doing this in Max. You could set up a simple amplitude multiplier with a slider and then go from there. And there's any number of ways of doing this in Max. You could set up a simple amplitude multiplier with a slider and then go from there. Or you can use one of the very handy built-in objects. And this is live gain tilde. So it's in the live subset of objects that we create for Max for Live integration with Ableton Live, but you can use them anywhere you like. And I actually like this object a lot because it combines 3 functions that otherwise we'd have to build for ourselves. First of all, it is a fader. It's a stereo fader, but it's in decibels. If you can see these little numbers down here, and decibels are more representative of how we hear volume. It's sort of a psychoacoustic measure. Technically it isn't, but it's close enough to a psychoacoustic measure. We tend to hear more or less in a logarithmic scale of volume, and decibels expresses that. And furthermore, we actually have a meter in here. So perhaps if I was to put my cycle tilde back with my arbitrary, let's make it 222 hertz, arbitrary. And let's send it to both inputs and turn it on. If I turn on the DAC, my ear gets blown out again because if I go back to main, I'm actually turning on this DAC as well. Time to get rid of this, I think. There we go. Save that. Right. So here you see we have levels. We have stereo control all in one. It's very handy. So the thing to do to get sound out of this is, it can be hard to see these at the bottom, but hook up the first 2 to our DAC because that's the left and right channel output. The others report on other attributes of this object. While I'm thinking of attributes, I can go into the inspector and turn off the bit that says live gain at the top. We don't really care what it's called. In fact, I don't really even want to see the number at the bottom. I just want a nice simple display like this. And yeah, so this is now kind of handy. We can get our stereo output control. Now, when this first loads, it's going to actually load at full volume because this interface object defaults to 0 dB. I don't want that at all. I want it to default to its minimal setting, which is minus 70. How do we know that? Well, we can look at the inspector, and it says the display range in dB is minus 70 to 6. Floating point numbers here, minus 70 to 6. Now you can set that even quieter if you want. You could set the minimal to the minimal end of the range to minus 120 if you wanted to. And if you're in a very quiet recording studio and you think you're going to get that much dynamic range, then more power to you. But as you can maybe hear from this recording, I'm in my living room, my sort of home studio, and I can tell you I do not have 120 decibels of dynamic range in here, especially not when the cat's in the room. But even with the computer humming away, 70 is more than enough. Okay, what else might we want in an audio output? Well, this is a nice visualization of, I suppose, the volume, but it doesn't really tell us anything about the waveform. I enjoy using plot tilde. So I'm going to label it up here, and then I'm going to create the object. Plot tilde is extremely versatile and extremely hard to set up correctly. Here's a hint. Use prototypes. Yes, what are prototypes? Well, there are so many different parameters here that could possibly... Actually, let's look at the help for that. Right, here's the help on plot tilde. It's got a lot of tabs. That's a sure sign that this is a complicated object. These are all the messages that you can send it. That's quite a few. And a lot of them control just the visual aspect, what it appears like, what it looks like. So Max has come up with this system whereby we can use prototypes. Now, I want to make sure that you can actually see this in my screen capture. So prototype saw it goes off the screen a little bit, does it? Probably does. But you can see the first couple. I'm going to choose Audio Scope Lite. Now, what this does, a prototype applies a whole group of messages at one time. It's a handy way of saving them and applying them all together to style your objects. And what's more is that once it's applied, this will be remembered in this patcher. Not all messages and attributes are necessarily remembered by objects. Now, I don't know if this could be called a bug or just a feature of how Max works, but I like being really certain that I specify any that I want for sure. So let's see this in just a moment. First of all, I'll connect this up. So I'll take the left channel coming in, and I'll put it there so we have some kind of a waveform. And because I chose 222, it doesn't subdivide nicely. If I chose 200, boom, there you go. It actually happens to sync up with the sampling rate nicer, and so we get a steady waveform, which is misleading, of course, because this is dynamic. What we saw a moment ago, the flickering was actually more accurate in a sense, but this is easier to look at. Now I can change some of the additional attributes here of plot, and that's just done by sending it messages. So again, if we go and look at the help, which we will need to because no one's going to remember all these, you can define color, filter, grid, origin, the thickness. Oh, let's do thickness. Okay, so I actually do like the line to be slightly thicker. So if I do define thickness 2 as a float, and send that there to the plot tilde, so that makes a slightly bolder line. And there's a lot more things I might want to change in order to standardize this to sort of a color set and a theme that I want to use over and over again to give my objects a consistent look and feel. So this changes the color. It changes actually the grid color and the grid origin color to be the same as the background, so they disappear into the background. And so this creates just a nice display. I don't need those grid lines, because I'm not measuring anything here. It's just to show us that we have a waveform. I like looking at waveforms. It's very good practice to get to know what sounds look like. It's actually a handy skill. Load bang I want to use to make sure that every time the patcher loads, this gets sent into the object. And now I'm starting, if I save my work, I'm starting to develop my own little output with look and feel. My own little audio output. Oh, yeah, I need to get sound into this, don't I? Well, some inlets will do that. Because in reality, I don't want this to be a cycle. That's just for us testing. I actually want inlets for the signals, something like that. Notice that this doesn't update. It still shows us that sine wave that no longer exists. I find that kind of weird. That's just how things work sometimes. So audio inputs, L and R. And another thing I'm going to want to do here is enable messages to our DAC itself. So I'll just give us another inlet here. Comment it. I always like commenting all of these inlets and outlets so that you know what they do and don't forget. So the first one then will be messages for the DAC. Our second inlet will be the left audio input, and our third inlet will be the right audio input. Maybe we should go and make this work. Let's go and make this work. So let's go back to main, and we have our cycle object. Give us more room. Turn off the DAC for now. And we're going to be using audio output. So because we created this patcher, it acts like any other Max object. It shows us our 3 inlets just fine. So let's go ahead and connect up to the left and right with our cycle. And let's put a toggle here to send messages to our DAC to turn it on and off. So if I turn down my volume, let's see if this works. I can turn on. Sure enough, that works. But we're not getting the full value out of our abstraction because where's all our audio? Where's our audio objects are here, but our interface objects are not here. We cannot see them. We cannot see the plot. We cannot see this nice fader. In order to do that, we have to implement presentation mode. So if you go down here, you can see there's an easel-like icon. You click it and you see your presentation mode. It's completely blank and empty at the moment. So we need to select objects and tell them to add to presentation mode. So we can right click or command click or whatever it is if you don't have a 2-button mouse. If you don't have a 2-button mouse, you should probably get one, but anyhow, that's sort of beside the point, isn't it? So this has been added to the presentation mode. It has a strange sort of pink color outline to tell us that. We also want the fader, our live gain tilde, to be added to presentation mode. The other way of doing this is simply to go to the inspector and choose include in presentation, like that. That's the other way of doing it. So you go back here, yep. We check our presentation mode, there's our objects. Now we can independently size and move these in this mode, and it does not affect the other mode. Let's do that. And I'm moving them to the top left because that is what you want to do. That's where the interface is going to be taken from. So you can do it this way. You can do it this way. I don't know. What do you like? Something like that. So it hasn't changed these positions here. Now, in order for this to work, well, let's just see. Let's just try it out, shall we? Go back to main. Now, instead of using our object like this as an abstraction, we could, or vice versa, instead of using the abstraction as an object like this, we can instead use a B patcher. So start a new object, call it B patcher, and wonder why it's called B patcher. Why isn't it called V for visual patcher or something? I don't know. It gives us what looks empty, and it's easy to kind of lose because it's got a very narrow, like half pixel or something, light blue border around it. And in here, we can specify the file. And we can specify any number of ways. We can actually click and drag right into here, or we could use our inspector and choose the patcher file. Audio output. So we choose the patcher file. And this is what it looks like. It's going to show us the visual view of that patcher. Okay? And it's got 1, 2, 3 inlets as we expect. So we can connect up to this. So I'm going to delete this version entirely. Connect up here as before. And this abstraction works identically to before, but in a B patcher, not instantiated just as a simple object. And it shows us the visuals. Not the visuals we want to see, however, because I don't think we want to see all the guts of our patcher here. Flip back again to the abstraction. We need to tell it one more thing. If you right-click anywhere here on the background and you pull up the inspector window, so if you right-click on the patcher itself, not on any object in the patcher, you get this window, and somewhere here, it says open in presentation. That's what you want to check, okay? Open in presentation. It's under view in your inspector. And then we can close it up again. Now what will happen is every time this opens in Max, it will open in presentation mode. Save it, close it. Let's check that out. I'm going to reopen the file from my desktop. It opens in presentation mode. Now you can always get back to patching mode simply, but this is what we want so that when we use it in our main patcher, which we already did, you can now see, I can unlock that eventually, you can now see, I can resize this much smaller, and it's showing us the presentation view. Like that. So this is pretty well what we want. We want a consistent audio interface that we can use in any of our programs from now on, simply by embedding this B patcher, and we don't need to worry about the details of what's going on in here. If I lock the patch, I can turn it on, I can turn up the volume, I can turn up my master volume as well. Of course, they both need to be up, so I can do it like this. Turn it off. There we go. So it works. The controls work through the B patcher and contribute to this main patch, which I guess I could label as well. Let me just, for convenience, copy this out here. Oh, yeah, I'll just call it main in sort of similar styles before. So here's our main patch. Now, tiny little thing. If we're designing presentation mode views, we're doing it for the end user of our program. That could be us in performance. It could be us when we don't want to see all the guts, all the patch cables, all the details of our patcher. It could be someone else. We could be writing performance instruments or algorithmic composition tools or audio filters and FX for other people. So presentation mode is very, very handy for all of that. There's a lot you can do with it. In fact, you can design fully professional-looking plugins using presentation mode. It takes a lot of work to get that far, but for what we're doing right now, it's darn handy. So this program itself, the main program, we also want a presentation view. So we could take our toggle. Maybe we'll give it a label. And we'll also take the audio output, and we'll add all of those to presentation so that this is what the main program looks like, okay? So if I lock it, you can see now, hopefully it's clear that this is a great way to build up a complicated program with small building blocks. I hope that it's an approach that you take because abstractions save you time and work. They also prevent error because once you have the audio output working with as many features as you want, I mean, this is only a simple example, you just don't need to reinvent that wheel. You just need to roll out the wheel and put new tires on it every time. So I think that's enough for one screencast. I've basically just gone through how to use abstractions as B-patchers, how to use them visually, and some of the advantages of that. And along the way, I've shown you a few useful objects. And yeah, that's not a bad place to stop. If you want to check out on my Patreon site, I have code and a walkthrough of designing an audio output for my Veer suite. Thanks for watching. My name is Robin, and I hope to see you again.
Hey y'all! So I often get asked how to export 3D objects from Max. So in Max we work with computer graphics and 3D shapes, so why shouldn't we be actually able to export them as objects on our hard disk? Actually as OBJ objects, so in the OBJ format, which is used by a lot of 3D modeling softwares like Maya, Unity, which is not actually modeling software, but also like Cinema 4D and this kind of stuff, Blender. So OBJ is quite a diffused format to work with 3D models. So actually the OBJ format is pretty straightforward, so I created a little abstraction that exports objects from Max, so basically matrix data as OBJ. So let's give it a try. So for example, here I have a noise that goes inside the JitGen, which does some simple distortion on a sphere. So let's see how it looks like then. It looks like this. Okay, pretty cool, pretty standard Max stuff. Now if I want to export it, I send this matrix to this abstraction that I created, and then I bang actually this matrix which has truth 0, so now the matrix goes inside the abstraction, which does some calculations, and then it writes an OBJ file in a text. So we now just need to export this text file. We go, we save it as all files, we create a file, we call it, for example, test.obj, so we manually add the extension obj, I save it. Cool, so now this is an obj object, in fact it's right here. If I right click on it and say open with 3D viewer, for example, and there we go, here is our 3D object exported, and now you can import it in Maya, in Unity, in whatever. What you want to do with it. You can actually also import it back in Max, for example, in a GGL model object. So I just read it, close this, read it, enable the object, and there we go. Here is our object. Let me actually attach GGL material, for example, to this thing, and cool, we got it back. In case we want to use textures with it, we can also use textures because this abstraction creates texture coordinates. So actually you can even use your own texture coordinates by inputting them in the second input and say use custom texture coordinates, otherwise it's going to create them automatically. Let's try with another object, so the gear. The gear object is a gear that I generate procedurally and inside this JitGen. In fact, I can even make the teeth longer or shorter, and change the height of this object. Cool. This looks pretty cool. It's all generated procedurally inside JitGen. I actually made a video about that. But now let's try to export it. So I bang this matrix, goes inside the object exporter, and I click on write obj. I override this text obj file that I created before, and cool. Let's now open it with 3D viewer. So here it is. It's a 2-dimensional object exported from Max. Cool. Now, this object is actually called m4m.objectsporter. M4m means Max for Max devices. So this is kind of the name I chose to give to all my abstractions that I created for Max during the years. So they're basically just Max for Max devices, just objects that make it simpler to do certain things in Max. And you can find them on my website. I will put a link somewhere. Cool. Now, limitations of this object. Well, basically, for the moment, you can only use a matrix that has the same width and the same height. So, for example, it can be 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 or 1000 by 1000, but cannot be like 100 by 40 or something like that because the algorithm doesn't work otherwise. I have to fix it. I didn't have so much time. I just wanted to put out this thing as soon as possible, and so this can still be fixed. If you want to fix it and get back to me, that would be actually very cool. So that's the limitation of the object. You can also not input your own normals, although this would be pretty easy to add to the abstraction. So if you want to do that as well, you're very welcome to do that. So yeah, this is it. The OBJ format is a pretty straightforward format. Just contains a bunch of numbers to represent the vertices and then the phases. So it was actually pretty easy to create this object. I wonder why it didn't exist yet. So yeah, cool. This is free to load. So just grab it and use it and maybe share your 3D objects that you export from Max. And probably there are going to be some bugs. So just get back to me with these and try to fix them. Well, see you soon on my YouTube channel. Ciao, everybody.
In many ways, abstractions are like subpatchers. So allow me to construct something here that just creates some audio, but an easy DAC, and let's create a sine wave, which is a cycle MSB object, and we'll give it a frequency like this. And then maybe just to keep the volume in control here a little bit, we'll just do something like this. And we hook this up, right? You'll hear a sine tone of however many frequencies. There we go. Okay. And of course, we could duplicate this if we wanted 3 voices, for example, and just connect these things all. Another way to do it, as I mentioned, is we can create a subpatcher, P. And I'll just drag this over here, right? And then I'll cut this out and bring this back into the subpatcher, make it a little bit more visible. And for subpatchers, we use inlets and outlets, correct? Right? And then we have another way of actually encapsulating, as they call it, some code that you've written, right? So you do that, you hide it a little bit, and you still get the same thing, right? And the beautiful thing about this is that you don't get a real messy cut and paste, right? You can actually just cut and paste, or you just duplicate the subpatcher itself, and all that code gets duplicated within it.
So this concludes the online material for Music 51. Thank you very much for a great quarter. It was really great to work with all of you. And my doppelganger, my alter ego, also thanks you as well. And have a safe break, get some good rest, and hope to see you soon. So I want to talk about this particular question here that might be on the quiz. And let me read it for you. Given the diagram, which MIDI cable connections are incorrect? And I think the way to think through this is to first of all remember what the in, out, and through ports are. Remember that in is input, and that out and through are outputs. They're both outputs. Again, remember also that MIDI connections, at least the hardware specification for MIDI, states that connections are unidirectional, not bidirectional. So if you make a cable connection between 2 devices, the data goes only one way. So let's take a look at A to B as an answer right there. And let's go the cable from A to B. Well, the through is connected to the in, so that's an out connected to an in, so that's correct. All right. So let's go look at the second option for the answer set, B to C. So that's out is connected to the in, so that looks pretty good too, right? That's correct. C to A. So the through, which is also an output, right, goes into the in of device A. So that's also good. So the answer would be none of the above, and all of the above would obviously not be correct. So I want to talk about this particular question here. For the answer set, B to C, so that's out is connected to the in, so that looks pretty good too, right? That's correct. C to A, so the through, which is also an output, right, goes into the in of device A, so that's also good. So the answer would be none of the above, and all of the above would obviously not be correct.
It's time drinking hot dog flavor. Loud as in the Jack Lane. It's a small man, big that's me on me. You're on the internet looking at me. I know everything that I see.
In this tutorial, we're going to introduce the use of abstractions in the Gen patching environment and learn how parameter management is done when we use those abstractions. The starting point for our patching will be the patch we created in our previous tutorial. I've gone through and removed the user interface objects I don't need to keep things a little cleaner. Command double-click on a Macintosh or Control double-click on Windows on the Gen tilde object to open the Gen patcher window. Unlock the patch by clicking on the lock icon. We can reuse parts of this patch to create a dual mono to stereo panner. We're going to pan 2 mono signals at signal rate, so we'll need 4 inlets, 2 for audio inputs and 1 for each control signal for panning. The 2 panning inputs don't require on-off switches, so we'll remove them. We'll use the multi-slider we created last time as a panning control, but we don't need any of the patching associated with it. We start by creating a simple panner using 2 multiply operators for complementary amplitude control. As our signal pans from left to right, the amount of signals sent to left and right outlets will mirror each other. As one value goes up, the other goes down. The multi-slider object in our max patch we used for crossfading set values in the range -1 to 1. We can use a scale operator to convert the input values to a range of 0 to 1. Type N to create a new operator box, and type in the word scale followed by the arguments to specify the low and high input and output values, followed by a 1 to set the scaling value to linear output. When we enter the 5 arguments, the resulting scale operator will only have 1 inlet. We'll need 1 scale operator for each audio input signal. To split and control the output value, we'll use the bang minus operator with an argument of 1, which works in the same way as it does in the max world. Inputs in the range 0 to 1 are output in mirrored form in the range 1 to 0. We'll add this operator to the multiplier operator for the left channel so that the channel's output is full when the input value is 0, and connect the scale operator's outlet directly to the right channel multiply operator's inlet. We've now added a simple panner to our patch. In addition to needing to add similar patching for the other audio input, it's also the case that this is a common and useful thing we do in patching. With that in mind, we're going to create a Gen abstraction that will let us reuse this bit of patching in this patch and anywhere else it might be useful in the future. First, let's select and copy the parts of our patch we want to use. Type N to create a new operator box, and type in the word Gen without the tilde. The object that appears looks like an ordinary Gen operator, with 2 inlets and 1 outlet. However, we can open the Gen object by command double-clicking on a Macintosh or Control double-clicking on Windows, and click on the lock icon in the new patcher window to unlock it. Now, we'll paste the copied operators into our default Gen patcher object. For this patch, we're going to need only 1 audio inlet and another audio outlet, and we're going to set the panning value from 0 to 1 using a param operator, whose default state we'll set to 0.5. Once the patching is done, choose Save from the File menu, and save the contents of this Gen operator as a file. We'll call it Seesaw. When you save the file, one will be created with the file extension .gendsp. Be sure to save the file to somewhere in your search path. Now that we've created our abstraction, we can remove the Gen operator we just created, and we can load versions of the patcher we just saved using the Gen operator. Type N to create a new operator, and type Gen, followed by a space, and an @ sign and the word file with no space. After that, type in the full name of the file you just created, seesaw.gendsp. The object that appears will have the same number of inlets and outlets we just created, and it's ready to use. We'll need 2 of the same abstraction, 1 for each audio input. Now, we need to send the output of our scale operators to our abstraction. If this were the max patching environment, we could use a message box, but those don't exist in the Gen patching environment. Instead, we can use the Gen setParam operator to do this. Type N to create a new operator box, and type setParam followed by the name we gave to the param operator in our abstraction, xfade in this case. Connect the outlet of the scale operator to the input of the setParam operator, and then connect the outlet to the left inlet of the Gen operator. Although the parameters in both Seesaw abstractions have the same name, xfade, they're separate instances, and they don't share data. Now, let's close the Gen tilde patcher and set up the outside of our patch. Connect the cycle tilde objects to the first 2 inlets, and copy the multi-slider sig tilde object pair, and connect the multi-slider sig tilde object pairs to the 3rd and 4th inlets. As before, we're still working with values for our multi-sliders in the same range as we use for audio output. So we can control panning at audio rates by adding a cycle tilde object to our max patch and send its output to the panning control inlet of our Gen tilde object. Presto, automated panning. Well, That's it. There's much more to learn about patching the Gentilda environment, but I hope these 3 videos have given you a place from which to begin. Happy patching.
start to lose it. Are you okay? If all the flyers are gone, gone. Are you okay? Is anyone okay? You start to lose it. Are you okay? If all the flyers are gone, gone. Are you okay? Is anyone okay?
Did you know that there are 4 ways to lock and unlock a Max Patcher? The first way is to use the View menu and select Edit. The second way is to click on the padlock icon in the bottom left-hand corner of the Patcher window. The third way is to use the Control key or the Command key plus the E key on your keyboard. And the fourth way is to Control or Command click in a blank part of the Patcher window. A blank part of the Patcher window is to Control or Command click in a blank part of the Patcher window. Happy patching! Did you know that you can use message boxes in Max to send messages to any receive object in your patch?
Sind wir verblüht?
You start to lose it. Are you okay? If all the flyers are gone, gone. Are you okay? Is anyone okay? You start to lose it. Are you okay? If all the flyers are gone, gone. Are you okay? Is anyone okay? You start to lose it. Are you okay? If all the flyers are gone, gone. Are you okay? Is anyone okay? You start to lose it. Are you okay? flyers are gone. Go. Are you okay? Is anyone okay? You start to lose it. Are you okay?
Hey everybody, welcome.
how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Money in the pot. I made it big. Again.
Yeah.
You
Hi,
lucky
Arthur.
people. Rest of you stop being so goddamn lazy and come over and say thank
How
you
you
to
doing,
your
Molly?
Uncle Micah.
Fine. Fed up of moving all the time.
Yep, just the way it is. Okay, well, let's talk more later.
I need to be alone.
How you doing, old friend? Fine. It's funny, us ending up down here. My daddy died in the field in Pennsylvania, fighting this lot. I ever tell you that? Many times. I see I'm boring you, Arthur. Worrying me. We lost men back there. We have lofty goals, Arthur. We're trying to reform society to a kinder, truer, better way. Now, of course, there's gonna be casualties. We're thieves in a world that don't want us no more. We are dreamers in an ever duller world of facts. Now, I'll give you that, but come on. We got the day. It's nice out. Old Hosea says that there's a creek around here. I reckon it's full of fish. How's it going?
Okay, considering.
Good. Hey, old girl, come on down here. Why don't you show us this creek you've been pissing in? Hey, you don't look too rosy, old friend. I thought this warmer weather would...
My days are looking good along over, Dutch.
Come on. Always dream crushing and bubble bursting, you. Come on, Hosea. Let's go fishing.
All right, gentlemen, let me show you how it's done.
Let's go. Come on. There, boy. Arthur, what are you doing? Why don't we just fish here? There's a whole lake of them. Because I need to get out for a bit. Me and the old guard. Before any of them back there, oh, there was us.
The curious couple and their unruly son.
It feels good here. You did well finding that spot, Arthur. More Charles than me. It's like I can breathe again, thick and soupy as this air is. Might even do your whistling pipes some good, Hosea.
I was once in this country with Bessie. Feels like a lifetime ago.
It was a lifetime ago. But what a life we have lived. How well we have fought. Especially both of you. I hope so. But now, when things are desperate, we have to stick with the plan. Make enough money, then find somewhere where nobody will find us. Where we don't have to hide.
Like where?
I got some ideas hatching, but I need you with me, not against me. Both of you. Of course. Still, we do need money. So keep a low profile, especially in the local town. After Valentine, I want everyone on best behavior here. No trouble. But start turning over the soil and the rocks. See what turns up.
Dutch, we've got to be discreet.
Imagine what a slew of rich simpletons there must be down here. Oh, this is perfect for you, Hosea. You'll be able to play them like a fiddle.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure, but...
No buts. Not today. we fish, and we enjoy the day. Looks like law up ahead. Play it cool. Whoa!
Easy.
Hello, gentlemen. Well, look what the cat drug in. I seem to have gotten myself in a spot to bother.
Quiet back there.
Let's see if we can't sort this look out. who it is. How are you, boys?
Fine.
This is quite some country you have here.
We like it well enough.
Hoagie McIntosh, at your service.
Lee Gray. This is my deputy Archibald McGregor.
It is good to meet you.
You a Scot?
Partly. The best part.
Of course.
Now, tell me, sir, what did the silly, fancy fop back there do? Nothing too terrible, I trust.
He was accused of running a gold mining investment scam.
Oh, no. I'm sure he wasn't. He is a magician. I know him. He's a fool, but he is not a bad fellow. Now, can we just...
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Shit! The Anderson boys! I can't have more scandal!
Well, allow us to help, my friend. Arthur.
Chase wanted, man.
And take Archibald with you.
Just what I signed up for. Come on, big guy.
Perhaps we can discuss the foolish magician.
Stay with that train. Don't let them get away. And do not shoot them, you hear me? Come on, hurry.
All right.
Come on, we're losing them.
Will you relax? We're not losing them. Pull me up.
Faster, come on. What's your name, sir?
Arthur Callahan.
Faster, Mr. Callahan, please. My neck is on the line here.
I get it. I'm doing my best. I'm slipping. Looks like the son of a bitch is gonna make it. You sure I can't just shoot him?
No. Did I not say that?
You said plenty.
Goddamn cowards, hide behind that man! Ooh, that must have hurt. Leave them. Stay with that train. The train is slowing down to go through the station. Now's our chance. See if you can get alongside the train.
Yeah.
Keep us close to the train. See the flat carriage? Head for that. Get us as close as you can. You think you can jump on there?
Me? Why me?
Because you ride like my grandmother.
You cop bastard! I didn't do nothing!
Arrest me now!
That's enough! Damn it!
Come on, Mr. Callahan, I'm relying on you.
You hold it right there! Stop!
Come on, shitbag! Run! Don't let them get away!
Bastard! Damn bastard! Get the hell away from me!
Gonna be dead soon! Go! Get after them!
You're only making it worse. Just you and me now, pal.
I'm gonna ride ahead and stop the train.
Guess it's just us then, lawman. Come here. Do we need to bother? Let me go. Can't do that. Let's make this quick.
Just don't kill him.
Are you sure?
Sadly so. Just subdue him and we'll take him in, all right? Try at least. Tempting as it might be, do not kill him.
Wasting my time.
Is everything all right in there?
Well, I don't think he's dead. I think I won the fight. Just about.
Bring him out here.
Deputy?
Sounded like quite a commotion. Is that him?
I sincerely hope so.
Old Anders Anderson.
So what now?
Take him in, come on. A fine job, well done. And a pat on the back for me for stopping the train. Load Anders onto the back of your horse there, and we'll take him to Sheriff Gray. There you go. You are a natural. All right, let's take him in. Follow me.
What about the others?
Oh, we'll round them up. Anders back there is the brains of the operation, and that's really saying something.
You're the boss.
That was mighty impressive, sir. I have to admit. I'd hazard a guess you've served the law yourself at some point.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that.
Are you familiar with the area here?
No, not really.
On your right here, these tobacco fields? This is part of Caliga Hall, big estate belonging to the Gray family.
Looks bone dry.
Yes, we are in dire need of some rain round here, let me tell you. The Grays have lived in Caliga Hall for generations. Fine people. My family's been working for them for years. Sheriff Gray's the one I know best, of course, but they own half the businesses in town.
Which town?
Rhodes, sir. You don't know it? Where we're headed right now. Ain't what it was before the war, but it has its charms. I'm sure you already know of the Braithwaites.
Like I said, just got down here.
Another big family in these parts. They have an estate west of here. Awful people, truly awful. They've been fighting with the Grays for as long as I can remember.
Sounds like quite the place you got here.
Here we are. Welcome to Rhodes. Up there on your left is the Rhodes Parlor House. Very reputable saloon owned by the Gray family. We also have a general store, gunsmith, post office, train station, of course.
What more do you need?
Very little. Oh, good, they're back. And that's your friend, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna stop just ahead on the right, outside the sheriff's office. Can you grab Anders off your horse and carry him in for me? Carry him over, then.
Hey, fellas.
Mr. Gray! We got him.
Very good. I told you Arthur would deliver. Man has a passion for justice.
That's wonderful.
So, about my friend here?
Your idiot friend is free to go. But no more trouble from you, partner.
I promise you, this was all just a big misunderstanding. However, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'll pretend to appreciate that. Mr. McIntosh, it has been a real pleasure. The mostly good citizens of Rhodes, we welcome you.
Well, we're just honored to be here.
And make your friend behave. We got enough trouble from some of the residents, old-timers who've gone, sadly, to seed and lost their dignity.
How terrible. Come along now. I will keep this fellow on the straight and narrow.
Come back and see us sometime soon. Excuse me, gentlemen. Bo, these better be ugly rumors. Is it true you were seen talking to that wretched Penelope Braithwaite?
I can't thank you enough.
Where have you been?
Around.
And where you staying?
I'm renting a caravan on the edge of town behind the church. It's horrible, but no one comes looking. The whole town is trapped in this interminable feud between the two families. His lot, Grays, and Braithwaite's.
Interesting.
Two old plantation houses, and falling out over rebel gold, and marrying cousins or not marrying. And
Arthur, Jose, you start poking around. See what you can find out about that.
I have missed you, boys. I've heard about bounty.
Well, there's been a price on my head for 13 years. It'll take a month to find us down here, and it seems like
We can have a little sport. Now, they're good bounties.
Where you hear this?
Some fellas I met at a camp near the state line said there was talk of it in bars in the north and west for 500 miles. There was talk of super agents or some such.
Super agents. I'd love to meet one. It's just talk.
I'm sure it is, but I couldn't not tell you.
Stay out of trouble.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, so these two plantation families. Arthur, you start sniffing around the Gray's place, see what the story is there.
Yeah, I passed by it earlier with our friend, Archibald.
Good. Hosea, you see what you can find out about these Braithwaites. All right. Thank you, Arthur.
Quite a fishing trip.
There's still time. I'm up for it.
How about you, Arthur? Or have you had enough of the chase for one day?
Sure, why not?
Great. Hosea, why don't you lead us to that spot you were talking about? I kinda like this place.
Okay. Let's see if we can avoid any more excitement.
Yep.
Yep. Yep, wait.
All right, gentlemen. Follow me.
Just waiting on you, Arthur.
You're okay, boy.
Are you coming or not?
This way. Come on.
So how far is this creek?
It's a bit of a ride still, and it's not a creek. It's the same lake we camped on, just a different part. It'll be worth it. I saw some big drum and sturgeon there. Should be rock bass, bluegills, perch, pickerel too. It's a good spot.
We'll see if you're as good at catching fish as you are at catching criminals, Arthur.
Trelawney owes me for that.
Trelawney owes everyone for something, but his information is good.
Plus, we are now ingratiated with the local law. I'd say it was a worthwhile diversion all around.
Where is this spot, Hosea? Timbuktu?
Not too much farther. Anyway, you two never told me properly about that business with Cornwall in Valentine. What happened there? Apart from scaring the living daylights out of Mr. Strauss.
That was about the only... John and I didn't even... I'm gonna kill you, son! Oh, son of a bitch got me!
Let's not drag this out any longer.
So, yeah, John and I didn't even have time to get paid for the sheep we rustled.
It is safe to say Mr. Cornwall isn't a man to let bygones be bygones.
Ambushed us in the saloon. He came with a lot of guards and what seemed like just about every lawman in the county.
We've had closer shaves, but not that many.
And if Cornwall found us, the Pinkertons couldn't have been far behind.
They found me when I was fishing with Jack, remember?
Listen, it was good we moved when we did, but that mess is behind us now.
Yes. Jack told me you were a good teacher when you took him fishing. I said he must have you confused with someone else.
Very funny. So, you're going back to see that Sheriff Gray?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They don't know who we are down here.
He didn't seem the sharpest of tacks. Neither did that deputy.
This is the spot. Down to the left there.
Hold.
Passing you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Whoa. I saw some boats around last time. Be good to get to deeper water. Yes, over there on the shore. I'm sure nobody would mind if we borrowed one of these. Come on. All right. This looks like a fine vessel.
Okay. Come on, Arthur. Let's get her in the water.
Oh. I got a good feeling about fishing here. It's supposed to be some incredible sturgeon. Oh.
Okay, here we go. Let me row. You boys are too old for real labor no more.
You're too dumb for anything else.
You're still too quick for me, old man.
I enjoy picking on children. Now take us to the deeper water and pray for good luck and stupid fish.
What about stupid luck and good fish?
That'll do too. Get us a bit deeper. I think here's good.
All right. Good luck, gentlemen. Where's your rod, Arthur?
Should really come here at dawn or dusk. That's when you catch the best fish. We should use a lake lure. That'll give us a much better chance of hooking something big like a sturgeon.
What's wrong with good old worm?
Oh, worms are good for tiddlers like bluegill and rock bass, but you'd have to be real lucky to catch a sturgeon with one.
Lures it is, then. You heard the expert. Arthur. Let's bait up.
Keep the lure moving slowly on the water so it looks like a little fish just asking to be eaten.
I think that's a bite. There he is.
Fish on the line, Arthur. Something's nibbling. Got one. Damn it, I lost him. That feels like a bite. Ha! Got ya! Ah, I should have had that one.
Hey, look at this beauty.
There you go.
Well done, Arthur.
They can grow a lot bigger than that. Fella told me he once saw a monster lake sturgeon near the mouth of the river, just southwest of Saint Denis. 50-pounder, he reckoned.
I would like to see that.
There we go.
Got him?
Hey, Hosea. You remember that time we sent Arthur out fishing? He came back with 3 beautiful bass.
Not this again.
I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah. You do. He was maybe 20.
21. Walked in all full of himself. We had a big feast. Toasted him all night.
This was 15 years ago.
Oh, I remember now.
Then, the next week, Arthur and I are at the market, and Fishmonger calls out, "So how did you enjoy those bass?"
Look, you can fish, or you can go drinking all day, rob someone, and buy some fish.
You got a bite there, Arthur. You got something biting, Arthur.
I used to go fishing with this feller back in the day. Wesley, his name was. Real miserable bastard, but he loved to fish. We'd go out all the time. But one day, we were river fishing when we see a funeral procession going over the bridge, and out of the blue, Wesley stands up, takes off his hat, bows his head. Then he sits down, picks his rod back up, and carries on. Doesn't say a word. So I'm a little surprised and say, "Wesley, that was nice of you." And he replies, "Well, felt I had to. After all, I was married to her for 30 years.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, dear God. I might swim to shore.
Remember those big salmon I caught in Montana last year? We had a banquet planned that night until Copper went and scoffed the lot.
You never had control of that dog.
He had some spirit, though. Never lost the puppy in him, right to the end.
You know, I remember us saying how Blackwater was the furthest east we'd ever been. As a group, I mean.
Feels like the more we try to head west, the further east we end up.
We had all those safe spots picked out to lie low in New Austin after the ferry job.
I liked it there. Still open and wild, the way it should be. Somehow the desert makes you feel closer to the sky.
No point us trying to get back that way anytime soon. Pinkertons had patrols out all over tall trees and Great Plains. We saw when we went back for Sean.
Well, look at us now, huh? It could be worse. Plans change. That's just how life goes. Nice, you hooked him.
Nicely done, Arthur.
Did I ever tell you my mother's buried in Blackwater?
Really? She is?
Apparently so. I only found out from an uncle of mine years later. Last I knew, she was still outside Philadelphia. I left home at 15 and didn't see her again. She and I didn't always see eye to eye. I wasn't always a very obedient child.
I can only imagine.
Still, I loved her in my own way, and she me in hers. Somehow, even from the grave, she managed to have the last laugh.
You hooked him?
Not bad, Arthur. Make sure you don't forget about that and let it rot in the bag.
Hey, I reckon we call it a day, fellas.
Already?
You ain't been chasing down outlaws.
All right. Think we got a decent haul here. Pearson will be happy. Should we head back?
We could keep the boat not too far back to camp from here.
Good idea. Could be useful.
What about the horses?
Well, they'll find their way back.
Just follow the shore south, Arthur.
That was fun. Thank you, boys. Now, Hosea.
Yes?
How about a song?
Okay. All right, I got one for you. I asked that gal to give me some.
I asked that gal to give me some. She says wait till the taters is done. I couldn't wait till the taters was done. I couldn't wait till the taters was done. Threw her on the floor and knocked off some. I wish to God I'd passed her by. I wish to God I'd passed her by. Taters got burned and so did I.
That was pretty good. But you know, what song we should be singing?
What?
Well, look at us. 3 mariners.
Ah, of course.
Well, we 3 poor mariners newly come from the seas. We spend our lives in jeopardy while others live at ease. Shall we go dance this round, around, around? Shall we go dance this round, around, around? Hey, that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this round, round, round. We care not for the martial men that do our states disdain, but we care for the merchant men that do our states maintain. To them we dance this round, around, around. To them we dance this round, around, around. And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this ground, 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 ground.
Oh, bravo! Bravo! Well, you know, we should not let the folks back at camp think that we had too much fun.
Indeed not.
All right. We're gonna be okay. I know. Oh, I always know. Whenever I got you two by my side, things are gonna be just fine. This place will be good for us. For now, anyway.
I hope so.
Well, I am going to take in the view.
I'll give these fish to Pearson.
How you been? I've been real worried.
What do you want?
Don't be like that. All right, just a few bucks, and I'm short.
Get lost.
Well, I'll go try someone with a heart.
You do that. Anyway, I won't disturb you.
All right, then.
Ah, Herr Morgan.
Herr Strauss.
How are you enjoying yourself here?
Well enough, I guess. And you?
Well, it turns out the pursuit of freedom is not a cheap business. Not for us, and not for some of the locals.
Sharking already.
I prefer to call it banking.
You ain't the one handing out the beatings.
No, but I am the one feeding the women and children in the camp. What choice do we have, Mr. Morgan?
I don't know. Well, come on then. Tell me who.
Here's the list. Refinery worker turned hunter by the name of Vinton Holmes. You'll find him up in the hills north of Strawberry. Ah, an apprentice undertaker. This one working in Rose. His name was Gwen Hughes.
And how many of them do you think will be able to pay?
With enough encouragement, both of them.
Mr. Morgan.
Yep. Let's get here.
You okay?
Maybe if I'm honest.
I know how you feel.
There, boy. Yeah, okay, boy. Come on, boy.
Horse looks fit as a fiddle.
You all right?
Yeah, I like this spot. It's a shame we never robbed that bank in Valentine, though.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Easy.
Still don't look quite right.
Bloodbath and Valentine. Read all about it.
I ain't never gonna get the hang of this.
I ain't seen blood in a while. You ain't a man amongst us.
Gwen Hughes, start picking out a box for yourself if you don't got that money you owe Leopold Strauss.
I don't. I need more time.
Doesn't everybody? That casket for you? Or you want another?
Wait. I can get it for you. But, come with me to the churchyard. And stay close. Hmm?
All right.
Oh, this ain't right. I mean, I'll get you your money, but, well, you'll see.
What ain't right is borrowing money you can't pay back.
I guess you're correct, but, this, it ain't exactly right, what we're doing.
You ain't the first to put his hand in the collection box, and you won't be the last. Rest a little easier knowing church has been taking more than they need off poor folks since time began.
Well, like I said, well, the morality of the matter is a little more confusing than that.
Okay. You head on in the church, I'll keep watch.
Well, it ain't in there. It's under here. I'm digging up Mrs. Claypole.
Jesus!
Well, she got a bunch of jewels in there that she don't need. Oh, damn it. There's a bunch of people here. Oh, I got it. I got it. Look, you clear them off, and I'll wait right around here. But don't hurt nobody. We don't want no fuss.
Don't be shy. Ain't no one around.
Just my auntie?
Your auntie's long past prudishness.
It's disrespectful.
You'd rather disrespect the living, breathing woman you got here in front of you?
Can't we just get married like normal folks?
Married? Don't be goopy.
I don't know what to...
Get out of here, kids. Move!
Come on. I knew we shouldn't have been here.
You missed your chance, boy.
There's still folk here.
Look at this.
Ma'am, would you mind clearing out of here for some maintenance work?
Oh, gladly. It's about time this place got cleaned up.
It's all clear.
All right. Now go watch the gate. I'll get to this exhumation.
Hello there, sir.
Sorry. Church grounds are closed.
Okay. It's, good of you to be doing it out of hours, I guess. I'll come back in the morning.
Ain't nothing doing in this town, that's for sure. There's them that's born to it, there's everyone else. Uh-huh, that's how it is. If things was done on merit, you and me'd be running things. Sure would. Uh-huh. Yep.
Hey, look, we're closed for some, excavation work. Would you mind?
No, I ain't gonna mind you at all. You carry on with your business, we'll carry on with ours. This fella. Oh,
Damn choir boy.
Get the hell out of this churchyard. Are you boys gonna need yourselves a preacher?
you hear this fella?
I heard him all right.
We're gonna lick you, bastard! You gonna get it!
this hole's dug.
All right, well, here's your payment. Oh, forgive me, Mrs. Claypole.
What you find?
Well, she had a brooch here. Looks like diamonds.
Well, this'll do. Now get out of here before someone sees you.
Can't believe it's come to this. All right, well, I'm out of here. That's more than clear what I owe you.
Yeah, nearly done, boy. Hey, boy. You're all right, boy.
That's what you have them for Pete's sake. Nope, put your hands...
What the hell are you fools wearing?
Oh, Jesus! You dead.
Who's talking now, huh? Yep. Giddy up. Faster. Yeah. Go, go. Yeah.
Hey, over here! Oh, I really need your help, friend. Again. I know. Listen, I know what this looks like, but you've got to help me out again. I mean, come on, please.
Again? Come on now. There, relax.
Hey, what the hell?
Again.
Get away from me!
Yep. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Come here. Hey now. It's okay.
That game all you can rustle up?
Come on. That should do it, boy. Let's go, boy. Yep. Wait. Yep. Okay, boy. Giddy up. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah!
Damn it.
Good haul, boy.
Hey, you're gonna leave a blood trail. Get it away.
Ain't no concern of yours.
Come on, really? This is not that... Fine then, goodbye.
Pretty good hunt there, boy.
Welcome, mister. First time to my shop? As long as you have the items I need. All right, then. Better be good. That'll do a lot of damage. Uh-huh. Well, that's that. No complaints here. This'll knock you out cold.
I trust nobody's missing this.
I can't imagine this is gonna
Don't
lead to
you tell
anything
no
good.
one, you hear?
Though in truth this man deserves no earthly respect from us, as a sign of respect to our Creator, we pay respect to the dead. Oh, Father, what do we say about a man who lost his way so awfully?
Tell it straight, Father.
Sir, we're in a moment of grief. He carried
Hey there,
that awful
mister.
war with him,
Hey there.
rustling horses with a misguided gang of killers.
You know, there's
A
something
brave
about
man,
this place.
undone by pride,
Really?
doomed to a life of sin and vice.
Anyway, can't put my finger on it.
You take care. Let us pray for this man. Oh, Father, provide him mercy.
Let's get back and do some great work.
Morning.
Sir, good morning. Wait your turn. Almost done. Can I help you? Oh my. You are a bad person. Farewell.
Out of the way!
Welcome.
I caught some reprobate shambling around my backyard yesterday. Went straight to the law, of course.
I swear, this place is going straight. You were sweating a little. Here you go.
Let's get here.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus!
Whoa, easy.
I won't die to know, Wolf! Oh, you there! Please help me!
Whoa there.
I'm out!
Easy.
Oh, God, I'm out! Oh, thank God! That animal is a goddamn menace! You saved me, partner. Woo! I was almost a meal there.
Quinn Holmes.
I didn't expect to run into no one out here.
Funny how far a man's debts will follow him. You got some money for me, boy? I seen your name in our ledger.
You're with the German? Look, I got it for you. It's just, I don't got it yet. It's up in them hills.
You panning for it?
Hunting it. I tracked this cougar. It's rare. Lily white coat, the pelt will more and cover what I owe.
If I'm skinning anything, I'm skinning you, boy.
Please, I'm out of work. It's the only way you'll get paid, and all the hard work's already done.
Fine. Move.
We'll, need our horses. It's, quite a trip.
Yeah. Come on, wait. Yep. All right, drive, boy. Let's get where we're going. Drive.
Okay, follow me.
Drive.
I'm driving.
Make me come out here, make me chase all over this goddamn mountain.
Hey, you knew it was a risk.
I didn't know nothing. Your name's all I knew.
Well, the German-speaking fella then, Mr. Strauss, he knew my work situation was precarious, that this whole thing was a risky venture.
Wait, risky? Am I at risk now? Are you threatening me, Winton Holmes?
I ain't. No, certainly not. Sir, I'm merely stating, a man without a job, with limited prospects, at those rates, repayment was by no means guaranteed. I said I'd do my best, and I did.
You're continuing to annoy me.
We're going right here, up the stream.
Hey, how about this then? I guarantee we pay. Because I'm gonna get that money out of you. If I gotta squeeze you like a lemon, it's coming out.
Yeah, of course. We're onto it now, okay? We're onto it now. The cash is in that cougar, mister. Sure as pumpkins ain't cauliflowers, the cash is in that cougar.
It better be, or I'll turn you into a goddamn cauliflower.
Up here, we ain't too far now. What I know about cats, this one's rare as hen's teeth. I mean, you ever seen an alabaster wildcat?
Big thing about cougars is they see you, not the other way around.
That may be, but you'd see this one. I've been hunting with my pa. Shot all kinds of cats. Never one like this. In another life, I'd have sought my fortune outdoors, not in the hot, stinking belly of a tar pit.
I ain't interested in your regrets or your life story, Mr. Holmes. Just your damn money. Drive.
This is it. Her den. We should leave the horses.
All right. Show me.
You'll see her soon. Quiet now. Won't be able to miss her shining in the dark. You hear that? There's a cougar in here. And I bet she's white as virgin cotton. The tunnel diverges up here. I'll take the left, you go right, and we'll see if we don't converge down a ways. And look out for...
Yeah. Holmes? Winton Holmes? She got him. Crap. Damn deader. Oh, penniless idiot. Gotcha! Hellcat! It's Wyatt. Better be rare. Get out of here, horse. Your man ain't coming. Gotcha. Come here. Go easy. Yeah. Here. It's Wyatt. Better be rare. Look! Get out of here, horse. Your man ain't coming. Yep. Yeah. Let's go, boy. Yeah. Move. Go, go. Yeah. Yeah.
You got a problem?
Hey there, friend. How can I help you?
Okay, boy.
Come back when you're in the market for real quality. I can't give you much when you've made such a mess of it.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Seems I buy this near every day.
Thanks, partner. Yep. Yep. Here. All right, boy.
Couldn't have drawn it prettier, no sir. Oh, it's you. Well, if you're feeling friendly, come look at this. How you doing today? Well, you see this here? American ginseng. Take a feller from not too bad to hardy as buck in no time. Really something. Yep, you don't find this every day. Dose this in your medicine, give it some zip. Believe me.
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
Anyway, I ain't gonna use all of this, so feel free to help yourself to whatever's left. You take care now.
Come on. Let's get. Okay, boy. Yep. Ah. Ah. Many folks about.